Hello, buddy. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. I got an incredible gift for you. A little while ago, Bill Ebert, my dear friend, and myself decided to start Life Mechanics, a live seminars where we've been now in LA, we've been in Charlotte, North Carolina, now Billings, Montana. And not only do I go out there and do characters, but Bill Ebert also does incredible training. We each one of them do, pretty close to 14, maybe 15 hours of training. And my gift to you is I want to give you one of the segments out of all this training. Now you can go to lifemechanic.com, look at the blog, and also see this other training if you want to get more, or you also can go to billebert.com. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I think that it'll help you a lot, and it's just me wanting to give more value out there to help people become more successful in any way I can. So take care and enjoy. God bless. Bye-bye. What I'm going to do is the character I'm playing now is a professor. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is just show you based on a theoretical example on how you guys should use that napkin that Bill talked about. Now, one of the things I can give you, and for those of you that follow me, either on Facebook and in Limited Profits, in my mentorship program, I talk about a gentleman named Don Fala. Now, Don Fala wrote the 45-second presentation. He also wrote a lot of books in the olden days about network marketing. And his whole thing is you should be able to do every presentation on a napkin. If you can do a presentation on a napkin, then pretty much everywhere you are, whether it's at the airport, at a restaurant, wherever you are, you can pull out a napkin and virtually explain everything you're doing right on a napkin. Now, it's amazing in this day and age because a lot of people are using PowerPoints, they're using laptops, they're using all kinds of things, but now we live in an era where you're talking about using your smartphone, using your tablet. So it's pretty neat to be able to pull out a video and show someone a video in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So, but I want to show you something that's sort of a lost art in this profession, and if you can learn how to do this, it will change everything you're doing. Now, you got to incorporate this in the thing that I did with Valerie, all right? So you got to take the time. Again, people don't care what you know unless they know that you care. So you got to take the time to ask them questions and find out what they want. It's not about you, it's about them. Now, I want you to take the next step and just say, now Valerie says, okay, I showed her how to call a person, you know what I mean? Jerome came up because he had to leave. And I immediately did the same thing to Jerome as I did with Valerie. And he said that he would give me every name that he knew. And here's a philosophy that is just not taught in this profession, and I don't know why. When I go out there and I talk to people, they go, and I'm talking to people that are making good income, and they've never, ever seen this. Ever seen this. So when I show you this, I hope that it makes a pop, because your goal, if you're in this profession or an entrepreneur, say I sort of, Eric Awori and I go back and forth all the time because, he's network marketing pro. He's the network marketing ambassador. You know what I mean? And I'm going, listen, that's a title, that's a name. I'm teaching entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? If you learn the basics and the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur, you're a good network marketer. Does that make sense? And so a lot of people just want to know how to be network marketers. I mean, right before we started here, I was over here talking to Jerry and Valerie, and we're talking about, okay, so you're making money, where do you put it? How do you make it grow? Everyone's talking about, the best key, I know you guys have heard this, what's the difference between what the wealthy spend their money on and what the poor spend their money on? And it's a really simple principle. When the poor get money, they spend it on stuff. As soon as they get their paycheck, they spend it on stuff. I know what you guys are thinking. The rich do too. They just wait one step. They make money, and they keep saving the money till they invest it in businesses. And when the businesses generate a cash flow, they use that cash flow to buy stuff. It's one difference, and it is a huge difference. So they're buying their vacations, they're buying their cars, they're buying their homes, they're buying their fancy handbags. They're buying all their stuff with what their money made, not what their company made. You see what I mean? So how many people know people that are in network marketing and they make money, but they don't have anything in savings? And you can tell because as soon as something happens to the company, wait, how can you be making 30 grand a month and now you can't pay your mortgage? You see what I mean? Because they think the cash flow is never going to stop. So I learned this principle, and you guys, man, I love this book. It is from Robert Kiyosaki. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's just a simple principle of thinking as a business owner versus self-employed. When I read that book, and I'm sure it's on audio, it was one of those significant emotional events that snapped me. Because there was 4 quadrants, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please go get the book. But you're either an employee, or you're self-employed, or you're a business owner or an investor. And see, a lot of people get in network marketing, and they're sliding from the employee mentality, the coin-operated mentality, into the self-business mentality. You don't want to be a business owner. Did you guys catch that? Because a business owner is the person that's opening up the Subway sandwich shop. They're closing the Subway sandwich shop. They're making better money than being an employee, but they have no life. None. And every one of you guys have seen these people because you'll go into a franchise and you see everyone in uniform and you see one guy dressed like me. And he's faster, he's got a little better attitude. Why? Because he owns the business, but why is he there? Because his manager called in sick. You know, so how do you go from a self-employed person to a business person? Simple. You've heard of Magic Johnson? Okay, Magic Johnson owns more Starbucks outside the corporate than any other person. Do you think you'll catch him at a Starbucks? See, the point is he hires a management company that hires the managers and runs it for him. Same with his fat burgers. So the difference between self-employed is the person that owns 1 franchise versus owning 10. Wow. How could we move that into network marketing? How many people, if I asked you how many leaders are in your group that are currently making a full-time income, how many you have? Devontae, how many you have? Henry, how many you have? Sherry, how many you have? See what I mean? So when you look at everyone in this room and no one has anyone in their group making a full-time income, you're self-employed. Did you guys catch that? My last group I had 9 people that made over $1 million a year, and I had 420 that are making over $5,000 a month. So Bill comes out, and when he first met me, came out to stay in our home in Newport Coast overlooking the ocean, and we're sitting there, and my phone doesn't go off because I got leaders running their leaders. I hardly ever get a call. So Bill always talks about the end game. What's your end thought? And a lot of people get involved in this industry, and they're trying to be the person that they think they need to be a leader instead of learning how to attract someone who already is. So I shared this one principle with my son Matthew. He's married to Hannah, their daughter. You know what I mean? And both of these combined, Hannah's 20 and Matt's 23, and both their incomes combined on a monthly basis hovers between $5,000 and $7,000 every month. And I shared this one principle with Matthew, and he got it. So how many people in this room have people in your group that just won't go to work? And so Matt came to me and he said, hey, listen, Dad, I got some people that quit this month. And I said, great, let me share with you a philosophy. I said, let's say that I own a professional basketball team. And you're hired to be not only the manager, but also the coach of the team. That's why I hired you. So you come to me and you say a couple of players don't want to practice. That's not my job, that's your job. What should we do? He says, I think we should fire him and get some other people. And I said, wow, how funny you got that. You figured that right away, but you didn't in your business. You find players that want to play. Now I'm going to show you how to find them. Because don't you guys hate this? I mean, I hate this. For my first 2 weeks in this business, I hated this statement. Jerry, you're one person away, man. You're going to find that person, your whole business is going to turn around. Just don't give up, man. You're going to find that person. And then the worst one right behind that, you're going to find another Jerry. And you're going, dude, there isn't another Jerry. I'm looking all over the place and I can't find another Jerry. How many people in this room have been told that sooner or later, Suzanne, you're going to find another you? Just hang on. They're there. Why don't they ever show up? I'll tell you why. God hid them. I'll show you how to find them. You ready? So this whole thing that I'm going to do right here, understand that it's based on one thing, is we talk a bunch about vision. You know, Bill always talks about, you know, you got to see it, you got to understand it, you got to know what's going on. If you play around with any sport, and I keep using Valley because of volleyball, can everyone see okay? Maybe I should move it back a little further. Okay, so when Valerie's teaching her girls in volleyball, she's showing them and setting up a play. Why is it that everything out there, including NASCAR, they got a game plan. They got a plan of what you're going to do on how you're going to get your results. When you're going to pit. Are we going to do 2 tires, 4 tires? Are we just going to do a splash and go? So what's your game plan? What's your game plan to get to $500 a month? What's your game plan to get to $1,000 a month? What's your game plan to find someone that wants to make $5,000 a month? See, everyone in this company, I mean, this profession wants to learn how to make a full-time income. Why not just find people that want to make more than they're already making and give them an opportunity? Because I don't know what all companies you guys are involved in, but if you had a leader and 4 separate legs in your company, you're done. Poke a fork in you, you're done. And Big Al has talked about this all the time. Big Al says you get one leader in your group that wants it worse than you and gets a full-time income, you've supplemented your income by maybe 2,000, 3,000. Some of you that just replaced your income. You get 2, you doubled your income. Now you get to make up your mind if you want to continue working or not. So even if you're making 20 grand a year, 50 grand a year, you got 2 people in your group cranking, and now you've doubled your income. You got 3, you're 6 figures. Now, depending on your group, that could be 100,000 to 500,000. You got 4 people in your group, and I want you guys to listen to this closely. I don't care what superstar you've seen walking on stage for your company. If you could set them down like Bill said, get them to tell you the secret sauce. They got 1 person in their group that's doing 80% of their volume. And then they got a bunch of other stragglers that are putting them in the position that they're in. So they got 1 cranking, and then they got 3 other people that together gives them the number of legs and volumes that they need to be a grand poobah. Don't you guys find that fascinating? Now, if you find it really fascinating, that means that you're really, really, truly only 1 person away. But why is it that everyone we talk to is not interested? I'll show you. Okay, ready? So here we go. The first thing that you do with somebody is you sit down, and when I tell people this, they don't do it, they don't listen to me, so guess what? You don't do it, you don't listen to me, don't get mad because you don't make any money. But I do not close people. Listen, I do not close people. So I'm sitting down, let's say Tom just seen the presentation. I look at Tom and I say, Tom, listen, so do you like what you see? Do you see an opportunity here for yourself? And Tom says, sure. And I say, Tom, listen, don't worry about money right now. I'm not interested in you getting involved in the company. I'm more interested in showing you how to do this business and how to hit your financial goals. And if I show you how to do that without you investing a dime, can I show it to you? Listen to what I said. Not 1 person ever in 28 years said, no, thank you. Don't touch your money. Let me show you how to get your financial goals. And I'll show you how to do it first before you invest the money. Now, is that the way you were told? No, you're told, hey, listen, what package do you want to start at, Tom? Would you like most? This makes sense to me. Great, what credit card do you want to put that on? Because I'm a closer. because coffee is for closers. It's like, what? And then as soon as I close Tom, I'm off to close somebody else. See what I mean? So now I started building a pretty bad reputation after that. You know what I mean? So here we go. I show, well, listen, Tom, we're going to get involved in this company, and above here, is me. And I'm smiling because I'm going to help you. Right now, you're not sure. You know what I mean? So in our compensation plan, I know there's a bunch of people that watch this video. You're in different companies, right? So just follow me. I'm just going to use crazy names and whatever, right? So in our compensation plan, Tom, we really simply have to go out there and get 4 people. Now, to bring in 4 people, I want you to understand, don't you think that we might have to go through more than 4 to find 4? Everyone's not going to say yes, right? And if one of these people decide to quit, guess what? We'll just replace them with someone who does. But based on what, and I'm going to, just for Tom, to get him on the same page, I'm going to use the statement that I did with Valerie. So, Tom, what I'm going to do is very simply call up, say you have a friend named Mike. And I'm going to call up Mike and say, hi, Mike, you don't know me, but I'm sitting here with your friend Tom. I was asking Tom if he knew anyone that would be interested in helping us find people that need to make extra money. And when Tom said you, Mike, I was willing to give you a call. Do you got a minute? Sure. I'd like to send you over some videos, watch them, and you're going to feel comfortable referring me to people after you watch the videos. I really appreciate you helping me and Tom out. Now, if I called him that way, Tom, and you already seen the videos that I was talking about, does that sound like a good way that you would allow me to approach your people? And see, I don't want to talk to Tom's people again that are, making hardly no money, making the same money. I want to say to Tom, listen, I want to find the most powerful people you know. Because again, we're just asking for their help to refer us to people. So they have more resources, they have more influence, they have a larger network, right? And that's how you hear these companies blowing up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and build that. So now our whole goal here, I'm trying to think of a number to use. Anyway, I'm just going to use random numbers, okay? So our whole goal is if I could show you how to get to $5,000 a month, Tom, and again, we'll do this in the next 60 days, do I have your interest? Okay, good. So now what we're doing, we got to find 4 people. We're going to talk to more than that to go out. And what do you think we're going to do with those 4? We're going to help them get 4. Now, again, the world's got a lot of people in it. So how do we find the top people? It's very simple. Let's say that this person here, on a scale to 10, a scale of 1 to 10, now this doesn't mean that they're a bad person. On a scale to 1 to 10, based on their timing, their personality skills, their communication skills, their work ethic, their attitude, let's say that they're a 5, okay? Well, if I'm talking to a 5 and I tell them that I'm going to call their people for them, and they know what I'm going to say, that 5 is going to lead me to a 6. At this time, I'm not getting any money. The 6 is introducing me to a 7 is introducing me to an 8, the 8's introducing me to a 9, and the 9's introducing me to a 10. So on a scale to 1 to 10, this person down here has money, has resources, has influence, and a network. And so I can say, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know? So by me talking to Tom, I'm not saying Tom's a 5, I'm just saying, right? So me talking to Tom, talking to Mike, doing the same thing with Mike, I find Jerry, and working with Jerry, I find Valerie, and find Valerie, I find Joanna. You see what I mean? And all of a sudden what happens is none of these people gave me money. The fastest I've run one line like this, 5 levels deep, is less than an hour. Did you guys hear that? Say as little as possible to as many people as you can. Now, what happens in this every single time is all of a sudden this one down here, Joanna looks at it and says, listen, it's a no-brainer, I'm in. I'm in, I see it. And then I go to this person, I go, Valerie, Joanna's getting in. Maybe you should grab a position. Hey, Jerry, Joanna and Valerie's in. Do you think you want to try this? Just see if you get in. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to be working with them anyway. Mike, Hey, Tom, I know I said that you didn't have to look at this for money, but maybe you should just grab a spot because I got 4 people already in. I told you I'd make it work. They're already in. Do you want to be their sponsor, or should I just take the sponsorship? Tom's smiling. I'm in. And see, by doing this, what happens is instead of constantly sponsoring your peers of people like you, you're working with them to drive deep and find people. Now, remember I told you one statistic about normally a person has one person in their group that's doing 80% of their volume? If you walked up to any professional network marketer that can document they're making $200,000, right? And say, who's your number one leader? My number one leader is Henry. Henry's my number one leader. Is he front level to you? No. What level is he on? He's on my 4th. He's on my 5th. He's on my 6th level. Ask him. And everybody's out there doing this. Bring in a person, bring in a person, bring in a person. Yeah, they don't do anything, they don't do anything, they don't do anything. Okay, great. They're just the wrong people. So I went out and got 4 more, and then they're not doing anything, so they're gone. They fell out, and I'll just go. And Jerry's saying, you know what, I'm pretty smart, but I don't know why I can't figure this frickin' thing out. Because other people are in the company, they're going to work, they're making money, and I've sponsored more people than anybody I know, and no one's doing jack. Sound familiar? He's going, yeah. Now, here's the crazy thing about this business. As I'm helping Tom build his group, so you guys have seen this before, and I might as well put 5 out here. It's easy to remember. So we're going to get 5. 5 is going to get to 25. 25 is going to get to 125. 125. Then 120 times 5 is 625. Then 3125. Now, how many people have seen this and they just go, I'm so sick and tired of seeing those theoretical examples. They're like disturbing. Why? Because I got 5 and they didn't get anybody. It's like, so how many people in this room, by the show of hands, have already figured out how to bring in people that won't do anything? Everybody. So where's the magic? Why is this happening for people and not happening for me? Well, in this example, if I go out and I'm helping, and now I'm helping this person get 5, all right? So Tom might not be good enough with skills to call his people. But Tom will introduce me to everyone he knows. As soon as I did that example with Valerie, I don't know if you guys seen it, by the time I finished that rest of that segment, she had a whole list. How many people did you put on that list? 10 people. Now, how many of you have talked to your person, you enrolled them in the business, you got their credit card, and then you tell them to put a list of 200 people together and then start calling them? How many people have ever done that and the people don't call anybody? Let me ask you a simple question. Did you call your 200 people? No. Why didn't you? Because I got to work on my skills. I don't want to mess this up. I'm going to talk to Sherry. She's going to ask me if I made any money or how long I'm going to be involved. Tom's going to ask me how long I'm going to be doing this. So we already know in our mind that we're going to have a lot of these questions that we're going to ask, right? So we got that chicken list. So I'm going to call people that need this. You guys check that out? So now all of a sudden, here you are, and you got what you consider in your mind people that are equal to you. And then down here, you got people that on a scale of 1 to 10 are below you. And like we talked about with Valerie, you call them up. Hey, Jim, you still unemployed? Yeah, I'm working on workman's comp. I get paid $1,100 a month. I don't think I'm ever going to get a job. Well, listen, I got the perfect business for you because you need this. He's like, I don't need anything. Well, take a look at these videos. I looked at them. I think it's stupid. It's not going to work. I thought you were stupid anyway. See, their whole opinion means nothing, right? Then when you talk to people that are your peers, if they say no, then it hurts a little bit, but it's sure not going to rob you from your dreams and your goals. You want to be free. It's like I shared with Valerie, is when you want to talk to people that are above what we would probably call your pay grade. That hurts. So Tom knows people that he respects. Jerry knows people that he respects. Henry knows people. Every one of you know people that you really, really expect their opinion. So if you called them up and they looked at it and said, listen, you got to see if you can't get your money back. That's the stupidest move you've ever made. That stings. So we stop from calling those people. Here's the thing. If I'm doing this, I have no trouble calling them. So in this scenario, if this is you instead of me, by helping Tom, aren't you building your group? Does this volume count for you? Now, I don't know every one of your guys' network marketing companies, but every one I've been in for 28 years, this volume counts for me. This volume counts for me. This volume counts for me. Now, isn't it amazing? We take this one more generation deep. And the company that I'm in right now says that I need to have a team leader in 4 different legs to go to the top of the comp plan. And guess what? Every company that I know does not care where that team leader is. Why? Because they understand what I know. They know if they told you that the only way you could be successful is you had to become a grand poobah, you had to have a personally sponsored poobah, personally, no one would get in the company. Because the people that are successful knows it doesn't happen that way. But like Bill says, why hasn't someone taught you guys the secret sauce? If you knew the people who are down here, like digging in the gold, digging in the sand looking for gold, how many people think that if you go out and dig for gold, that it's right on the surface? It's not. Neither are the diamonds. Neither are the good people. Now, here's what really is awful. These people are usually pretty focused and goal-oriented. They've worked on a lot of the life hacks that Bill Eber talked about. So when you run an ad in the newspaper or Craigslist, are these guys looking for it? This guy's answering. Sorry, Tom. The guy above Tom. Okay? This guy's got the time to look through Facebook ads. You know, hey, make $2 trillion in 3 seconds and don't do anything. This guy's answering that ad. These guys don't know the ad existed. So when I got found in the company, my upline that was a top money earner, I was 7 levels below him. Terry's hair, she knows exactly. So there was a guy that brought me in named Sean Hennigan. Above him was a stoner roommate named Craig. Above Craig was the guy he worked for that was named Larry. Larry was brought in by Michelle Turan, which was Peter Wilson's girlfriend. And then there was Peter Wilson. And then above Peter Wilson was one other person before, a lady named Sherry. And then above Sherry was Bill. That was the guy that I found. Now, isn't it funny, if you were like me when I got involved, have you gone upline to find your top person? And your entire upline, the top producer, and said, listen, I want to be mentored by you. Because you're in their group, and they would help you if they understood humanity and success. If they didn't, they'd go, well, I did it by myself, you do it by yourself. Or they're not available. It's like crazy. Or they're stuck in a competitive mindset, where they're scared to help you, so you would outshine them. I'd rather have 5, 10 legs of people that do better than me. And that's what I learned. It's nothing better in my entire life than to be sitting in the audience, that before they call my name, which is usually the last name that's called on stage, to have the people that I've got in my group be called up. So when they got the top 10 up there, you got 7 of the top 10. You don't have to say nothing. Everybody knows. Why? Because the 7 that got up before you, you helped them enough, so every time they get on stage, They're saying, listen, man, my whole life has changed, and I just want to thank Joanna. Man, thank you so much. You're sitting in the audience, crying your eyes out. I love this business. But they're not front level. Does that make sense? So now, a lot of you are going to say, you know what? I don't have the confidence to do that. Yes, you do. I couldn't wait to show this to Carrie, because Carrie's the kind of person, based on her heart, based on how she loves people, based on who she is. If any one of you that are not even in her group walked up and said, Carrie, listen, could you help me call my people? Yeah. Look at her. And she wouldn't second guess if she knew what to say. You need help? Yeah, I'll call them. Will you show them the presentation? Yeah. Will you answer their questions? Yeah. But she won't do it for her. That is a unique thing in our hearts and our minds that's just amazing, that we will do things for others that we won't do for us. What if you set it up that way? Now, see, if you're scared, you won't recruit and drive it down. Because you know, based on this, which works every single time, like gravity, the law of attraction, this works every time. And so when you drive down and finally find someone who's serious, now I got to go to work. So you can't be busy. So once you drive down and you find yourself a Jerry, you find yourself a Tom, you got to be willing to help them call their people. Now, what's great about these kind of people is they get it right away. So I call one person, and I do it for Tom, and it's Mike. And he goes, well, Mike's looking at the videos right now. Tom, who else do you have to call? Oh, you need to call Greg. Okay, great. Hi, Greg, this is Robert. You don't know me directly, but I'm sitting here with your friend, Tom. And we're expanding a company in the area, and we're looking for people that would like to make a significant amount of money. When I asked him who I could call, he said you, Greg. Based on Tom's recommendation, I'd like to share with videos with you, and when you watch them, you're going to feel 100% confident to share us with people. Would you like to talk to Tom for a second, or can I just send you over the videos? Is Tom there? Yeah. Hi, Greg. Yeah. Is this for real? Yeah, I've looked at it. Okay. Send the videos over. And I won't even get to the second or third person. And Tom will go, I know what to say. I got this. Well, what would Tom say? Tom's calling Bill. Hi, Bill. This is Tom. What are you doing? Not much. How's Maria? Family? Great. Listen, I need your help. Would you do me a huge favor? Sure. I'm working with this guy, Robert, and he's expanded a company in the area. He's looking for people who would like to make some extra money. And I thought of you. You could help us, Bill. Can you look at the videos and refer us to people? And Tom's going, I got it, Robert. Don't need your help. I go, wait a minute. If Greg and Bill gets in, can you do that for them too, Tom? Yeah, I can call my people's people. Looking for a diamond. Did you guys get this? How much time do I have? 20. Okay, good. Okay? Because now, if you used $1 million question and you use this, how many people have been in more than one company? Raise your hand. Okay? Now listen. If you've been in more than one company, Devontae. Devontae didn't raise his hand. I know he's been in one other company other than what he is right now. Huh? I pay attention, don't I? You want me to tell you what companies there were? Yeah, it's sad when you're in a company and it goes out of business. See, everybody says, just get in a company and just stay focused on one company. What if they go out of business? I've had 4 of them go out of business on me. So what am I supposed to do? Just not do the business anymore? You know, it's pretty crazy, right? And so the whole concept of really understanding is if you do it properly, I've been able to go back. I just joined my 16th company. How many people think when I go back on Monday and make it public that I'm calling everyone on that list? Every single one. Because I did it right to begin with. So for me to be able to call up someone that I got in a company 28 years ago, I get to call them up and do this. Hi, Carrie. How you doing? Great. Listen, I need you to could you do me a favor? Listen, who do you know right now that needs to, make some extra money? And I do this to my people, and they start laughing on the second line. Yeah, I'll help you. Because they know I mean it. I've never signed Carrie up in anything and abandoned her. Did you guys hear that? So when I call up Carrie this time, it's like now I have people that are close to me. I just got involved in this new company last Monday. And I say, hey, Susanna, you got my credit card on file, don't you? Yep, I'm in. You don't want to hear about it? You're going to send me the links anyway. I'm ready to roll. Why would you do that? Robert, the last company I was with, you helped me and my family make $3 million. Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same page. What's the next one? I call up a person that didn't have success with it because they didn't focus. They didn't do what they're supposed to do. They didn't plug in. They sure don't blame me. So I call them up, hey, can you do me a huge favor? Sure. I'll look at the links. Oh, I don't even have to tell you the rest of the stuff? You know what's the best when you train people to do this properly? When they call you up and do it on you. And you can't say no. Just had one of my closest leaders call me up. Robert, what's up? Great. How's Terry and the boys? Amazing. Hey, listen, can you do me a huge favor? Ah! Yeah, I can. They're going like, hey, it works, doesn't it? Sure does. Okay, send the links over. I'll look. Now, what if you have people that are in competitive companies? Would it work? You can. Daniela, right? Okay. So Daniela, I call up Daniela. What company are you with? Oh, that's your mom? We need to talk afterwards. No. Devontae, hey, come on, man. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I can't use you in this example, okay, because I want you to be involved in another company. So, Devontae, we're going to do it with you, right? Okay. So, Devontae, you're in Organo Gold, right? Okay. So, you're serious about Organo Gold. Okay, cool. I'm serious about my company. So, watch this. Hey, Devontae, how you doing? Hey, listen, can you do me a huge personal favor? Listen, you know I'm involved in a company called Modere. Okay, and you're on Organo Gold. You're not going to believe this, but I actually called some people and they're not interested in my business. Can you believe that? That's amazing. So I don't know what the deal is. They just, for whatever reason, are not interested. Do you run into anybody that's not interested in your company? Wow. Okay, here's the deal. I got this guy named Ken Turbo, one of my top producers in another company. I don't know where his head is. But here's the deal. Because you and I know each other, I'm going to edify you and promote you and tell him that you're going to give him a call. So I'm going to call Ken up and say, listen, I met this guy named Devontae. He's a killer guy. This may or may not be for you. But would you give me permission to give him your name so you can talk to him? Absolutely. So I'm going to give you Ken Turnbow. Here's his email address and number. He's waiting for your call. Could you do me a huge favor? Sure. Can you return the kindness? Tell me a superstar that you know that you haven't been able to get in Organo Gold, and let me have a shot at him. What a concept, huh? So now watch this. I give him Ken. He calls Ken. Everybody wants to test you. So he calls Ken. Ken says, listen, whip it on me, man. Yeah, what about this? What about this? What about this? Great, I'll look at the videos. Right after that happens, and it's a good conversation, and it will be, Devontae's sending me his person. He will, because it's reciprocity. It's just a law of reciprocity. You guys know the word. So the whole goal is I can do this with anyone I've ever talked to in my life. What if I treated someone wrong? Wow. Has anyone here had a falling out with somebody because they wouldn't look at your business? You know, because at the beginning, you're sort of like, I'm doing this. You know, so I'm calling up, you know, Tom and saying, Tom, you in or you out? And I'm standing here on the mound of stuff at 9/11. You're either with me or you're not. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know, if you're not going to get in this, I'm going to go make a lot of people money, and I'm going to forget about you, Tom. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, you guys are laughing, but I know some of you have done it. Like you're offended that someone won't look at your business because you're all jacked up and excited. So you just got to put them on the off list. What is it? Some will, some won't, so what next? Cut them out of your business, they're gone out of your life. You know what I mean? They're not focused on your goal. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. So you call that person back, I'll use Sherry, and I'll say, hi Sherry, this is Robert, how you doing? Listen, you got a minute? You know, I called because I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. See, I got really excited in that company, and I called you, and I not only approached you wrong, I did it wrong, and I really messed up, and I'm sorry. So please forgive me. Cool. Yeah. Listen, could you do me a favor? I'm going to do it right this time. I don't care if you get in or not, but I need your help. I know you know a lot of people that could use this product and get involved and make some money. So if I just sent you the videos and you watched them and you liked them, could you refer me to some people? So now every company you've ever been in, I know Devontae right now is going, I got it. I know who to go after now. Because when you're in a company and you go from company to company and then you called a bunch of people and then at the beginning you're full of enthusiasm and excitement, so you go out and mess up a lot of stuff, why can't you go back and just say you're sorry? I was really excited. I blew that. I messed up. Oh, by the way, I'm not looking for any money, Sherry. Yeah, see, that's good. Because, you know, the last company you got me in, I can't park in the garage. You know what I mean? Got all my inventory in the garage, you know. So it's like, you know, so, you know, you might have to repair some relationships. But how many people love that? So I get to call everyone I know. As soon as I call them, they giggle. So you just got to repair those relationships and call them up. And I'm going, listen, you know, and here's my thing. I say to people all the time, did you hear what I did in the last company? Yeah, I did. Hey, listen, if you say no, that's okay. I just want to make sure you get to say no before I blow this thing up. Wrong timing? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, love my company that I'm currently in. What would I say to a professional network marketer? I can shorten it up. But they got to be a professional, a person that's really making a full-time income. So I can call up Jerry and say, hey, Jerry, it's Roberts. What's up? Not much should be your income. That's what mine is, up. So you ask me what's up, it's my income. Anyway, I'm just joking. No, I'm kidding. Everybody's going, wait a minute, is that what you really say? No, I don't. But how many people know me? If you call me and ask me what's up, my sons were laughing with Bill last night because you guys got father jokes. How many people in this room got a father? And you hang around them, and as soon as he shows up and someone new shows up, here comes the dad joke. Dad's got like 3 or 4 good jokes that he pulls on everyone. What are you guys laughing about? Isn't it? It's like, what was it, Becca? The guy shows up last night and says, can I see your ID? And I said, did you just call her Heidi? And he goes, no, but even if her name is Heidi, I still need to see her ID. So he probably heard that joke before, but did I lose anybody? Okay, cool. All right, so for real now. For real now. So I call up Jerry. Hey, Jerry, this is Robert. What's up? See, I thought you would say income. Okay. Jerry's a slow learner. You know what I mean? That's not true. Okay, one more time. Hey, Jerry, what's up? Income. Give me a hand. There you go. Okay. Hey, do you got a minute? Sure, what's up? Listen, I just got involved in a new company. I'm going to rip it up like I've done in the past. Is there anything that I can do, say, or pay to get you to take a serious look at what I'm doing?
How much would you pay?
How much do you need?
How much you got?
Hey, I can replace the income that you got now if you come look at it.
Blank check sounds good.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Cool. Fly. See, now, that's what I'm going to say to people if you're a professional. How many people said, I can't say that because I can't pay anything? Usually, you guys hear about big companies that got big deals. If he's a leader and he's making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, I can get the company to bridge him a loan if he's serious about coming over. And a lot of people think that's controversy. You know what I mean? But professional athletes get signing bonus because of their performance, don't they? Good athletes can get scholarship to colleges for being good performers. You know what I mean? I don't know why people don't like people like me getting signing bonuses. Last company I built, I took them from $200,000 to $110 million in 4 years. So they might like me. So how many people learned? How much time I got? 7 minutes? What'd you say? 7. You said 7? I didn't even hear you talk. I'm joking. Okay. Okay. How many people got this? How many people think that you could call your people and say, listen, here's the last part. Let's say that Carrie and I have worked together in the past, right? So this time, I'm calling her up. Or let's say that you're staying in the same company. You're not moving, you're not doing nothing, right? After learning this, I would call Carrie back and say, Carrie, this is Robert. How you been? Listen, I learned some stuff this weekend about how to properly do this business. I know you're in the company. Would you give me a chance to sit down and do a game plan with you and help you? Okay, great. I'm going to do a game plan. So now I'm going to draw out her comp plan and say, this is what we need. This is how many legs you need. If we did this, you'd make this. If we did this, you'd make this. And she's going, yeah, I know that. No, listen, what if I call your people for you? Now, I want to talk to Carrie's top 5 people. And people will give you their very, very top people if you'll call them for them. I'll give you a great example and we're done. How many people in this room know somebody, and I did this already, but watch this. How many people know somebody that they would love to have in their company, but they know for a fact they'll never do network marketing? You know for a fact they'll never do it. Has anybody got a name like that? Okay, Becca, you got a name? Okay, great. Give me the name. Okay, because here's what I tell people. Give me the name because if I talk to them and get them in, then I get them. And people go, now wait a minute. You already told me they're not going to get in. So why do you care? And people go, I know somebody. I go, give me their name. Let me talk to them. If I get them in the business, they're mine, not yours. And they won't give me the name. And I go, why won't you give me the name? You said they wouldn't get in. Well, because you might say something that will get them. You better learn what the hell that is. You better learn the confidence. You better learn the posture. You better learn the language. Because just like Bill's story, the last story I'll share with you is exactly like Bill's. And I remember reading this in a magazine, and that's one of those significant emotional events where it went pop. So I know you guys have heard of General Motors. General Motors, back in the old days, they made cars, and it was just all metal. There was no rubber on anything. So can you imagine driving a car that had no ceiling anywhere? Like nothing from the wind coming in, nothing from the noise coming in, nothing stopping the dirt from coming in. And there was a company where I told you guys about Max Fisher. There was a guy named Max Fisher that owns Fisher Price, Marathon Oil, and Body by Fisher. So anyone here that's ever owned a General Motors car, when you open up the door, the ceiling at the bottom has a thing that says Body by Fisher. Here's the story. So he learned how to seal the cars, make it so the windshield's sealed, the door's sealed, the windows sealed. Pretty smart deal, huh? And he did it with a bunch of companies, and no one would pay any attention to him. So he found out that the General Motors CEO at that time loved model trains. Loved them. So he was able to get some money from his friends and family, and he went out and bought an engine. One of the best engines he could buy for model trains. He wrapped it up in plain paper and then got an outfit and a costume to make him look like a delivery guy. He walks up to the secretary and says, "Hey, this is for Mr. Anderson." "Okay, great, thank you," and left. Next day, he came with a car that went behind the engine. Said, "This is for Mr. Anderson." What's your name, by the way? Joanna. Well, you look lovely today. Thank you very much. Great, great. Next day, brings another car as a delivery guy. Puts it, "Hey, this is for Mr. Anderson." "Oh, yeah, you were here the other 2 days." "Yeah." "Oh, yeah, I brought you some flowers." You do such a great job. Yeah. Next day, another one. Here's a box of chocolates. Next day, comes dressed in a beautiful suit. No packaging, and the caboose in his hand. "Hi, Joanna. Can you call Mr. Anderson and tell him the caboose is here?" "Sure will." "Mr. Anderson, yeah, the caboose is out here. Send him in." Now there's rubber molding on every General Motors car from that point forward. Made him a multi-billionaire. Today, if you go to Detroit, you can go down in downtown Detroit on Fisher Boulevard and go up in a granite building with brass all around it called the Fisher Building. I met his son, Phil Fisher, a multi-billionaire. And the story that Bill said exactly was mine. So I met this Phil Fisher with the guy that did the audio stuff. Pulls up in his Harley, got his buddy with him, listened to the technology, says, "I'm in." He says, "Well, I'll meet you tomorrow." Hands me his card. And you know what was on his card? Phil Fisher. No number, no address, no nothing. I'm like, what an ass. You know, I can't even get a hold of him. Went back to the guy I was working for, and I said, "I just talked to Phil Fisher." "Are you serious? He's a billionaire." "What time did he tell you to meet him?" I said, "He told me to meet him at noon." "Great. Where's his office?" "It's on Fisher Boulevard in the Fisher Building." How many people would like a card like that where everybody just goes, it's like, who is this guy? You don't know this guy? Where's his office? You don't know the street and the building he's in? I walk up there, penthouse just like Bill's story. Only elevator, guy guard watching it, lets me in, only goes to the top floor. As soon as I went to the top floor, Marathon oil pump sitting there, Fisher Price, Body by Fisher. Walk in a conference room, they had to hoist the no-seam conference table that fit 50 people that was made out of a tree. No seams. And had to haul it into this top part of this. And Max Fisher, which was one of the wealthiest Republicans, had pictures from here to here, up 3, around the whole wall of this conference building of every picture of every person that you ever thought was famous. Popes, presidents, secretary of states, leaders of countries. Like, I'm supposed to sit there and then pitch a deal. And I mean, you're just sitting in there and they're like, wow. And just like Jerry, I told Jerry and Valerie this, I sit down with Max and he said, 2 other guys are going to be sitting in. I said, great. And he goes, these are the people that help me with my investments. I go, help you with your investments? And he goes, yeah. He says, I have like 8 guys. He says, I each give them between $200,000 and $500,000, and it's their job to find investments for me. You were told about me by Randy Thomas, weren't you? I said, yeah. And he says, Randy Thomas is a friend of mine. His dad is the guy that invented the drive-in theaters. I'm like, wow, Art, I'm in the wrong place. And what was the end of that deal? After I shared it with them, they love the technology, but venture capitalists are venture capitalists. They make money. He said, listen, here, Robert, your idea is so good. We're going to fund it. We want 51%, just like Shark Tank. We'll pay you $200,000 a year. You can be called the executive vice president. We'll give you an office, pay for all your expenses, but we're taking it over from here. I went back to my investors, the people that created it. He was an inventor. No one's taking control of my stuff. That was the end of that deal. I called up Terry. I sold my part of the company. I'm coming home. This is not fun. So how many people like this stuff? Like the professor? To show you the facts, tell you how to find the people, show you how it's done? Does this make sense? Does it take a little chutzpah to call up your people and say you'll call their people for you? It's not if you use the $1 million question and you got videos to share with them. You got an effective presentation. It's so fun. It's so fun because the videos do exactly what they're supposed to do. They talk about excitement of the company, what makes them unique. Second one talks about a game plan of how fast it can happen. Third one shows them a game plan of how to make $500, $3,000, $23,000. Does it all for you. So then they go, what do you do? And you send them a small video that says, well, listen, you fill out this application, you pick a place to get started, you share this with other people. So if you put the system together, it works every time.